Hi everybody, welcome back. Today we continue day 7 with the roulette challenge. I will be posting the leaderboard up so you can take a look at who's on top and the final 4. All right, so this strategy today has been sent in by Dennis, and he calls it Splitsville. Now, I've seen it on other YouTuber channels, CEG, a few other ones. So he normally starts with $1,000 bankroll and does $1 units. Today he's starting with 500 and he's doing $2 units. So this could go by, he could go bust quick or it could be legendary. So let's check it out. Now, it's basically 24 numbers. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. There's 8 numbers right here that I'm choosing in the last dozen. 8 numbers right here, okay? So there's 12 splits, $24 bet. He has 24 ways to win. And we're also playing on a single zero, which I have done throughout the tournament to make it even, okay? So he has 13 ways to lose. He's almost a 2-to-1 favorite. So let's get into this, all right? I'm going to start the clock. 15 minutes and the first spin. So if you haven't joined our Facebook group, do so, because Sandy and I, we teach people how to go on cruises and get comps and all kinds of little tips and tricks. So we appreciate that. All right, so he's up $12. I'm going to show you what he does after wins and losses. After a win, he keeps it there. He's trying to get up to a $50 profit and then resetting back to base. All right. So if you notice, he's down now, $12. He's going to rebet. After a loss, he doubles up and then he checks to see what profit level he is at, okay? After he doubles, if he gets a win, then he resets back to base like he just did. If you look, he goes back to base because he's up 12, okay? So we're going to reset that. We're going to clear these back down to $24, and this takes a little time here, so apologize for that. Hopefully you don't hear my mouse clicking when I'm resetting those. 32. That's a win. So now he's up $24 and he's cruising along. So the $24 bet, basically if he wins, he's going to win half of that. So he's been winning 12, okay? Hopefully he gets several of those. He's up to 36 now. Cruising along with that. So yeah, Sandy and I just went on a cruise and we played roulette. Got some crazy points. He's up $48. Now, that is his profit. So he's up $48. He's going to continue to play, and we're going to reset back to that if he has to go up, okay? So that's why we keep track of that. That's $60. The next jump, he's trying to get to 100 and then reset back to base. You want to stay as close to base as possible, so when you have those bad runs, it's not as painful, right? So you try not to double up and double up too many times. Up $72. But yeah, when you double up like this, after the first loss, right, and you double up, you recover your money up to $84. This high coverage system, he's getting a lot of wins. So I like systems that are like between 21 and 30 numbers, right? You get lots of wins, but you also don't make as much. Okay, so if you note, he lost 24 right there, okay? We're at 60. So watch what happens when we rebet. Can double up. If he gets a win right here, he's going to get that $24 back. So let's see. See, he just got that $24 back. So he's at $84. What we're going to do is rebet. Remember, go back down to base to play safe. So going back down to that $24 bet. We're about 3 minutes into it, and he's close to $100 up. That's great. Yeah, I've seen this strategy played by a few other people, Remember, he's up 60 still. He's going to rebet because that was a loss. Double it up. But some of them will not double their bet until they have 2 losses. But he's being very aggressive because it's a tournament. And he also knows he has lots of ways to win, which he just recovered that money. Okay. So you'll see he went back to the 84, which is what we started with. Now he's going to reset back down to 24. He got that 1 hit. So I like the recovery on this system. That lets me know. I like to see how many spins it takes for a system to recover. And that's good. Okay, so let's see. He's up $96. Same base bet of 24. About 4 minutes into it, almost up $100. Lost that one, so he's going to rebet. Double that up, and I'll show you where he's at. He's at $72. Dennis, so far, this is working out good. Remember, Splitsville. There's a couple different ways you can play it. If you YouTube it, YouTube a Splitsville and roulette, you'll see it come up different ways. Different people play it. So he's $24 profit. He's going to rebet, double that up now. Now he's not going to recover all that he's lost because he lost 2 times in a row. So 48. So if you notice, he's not quite back to that 88. But what he does right here is he goes back half of that. So he was at 96. He's going to go back to 48. Okay. I apologize if you hear my mouse clicking. It's just the fastest way to get back to where we were at. Okay, and we're going to spin again. So we were at 96, went back to 48. That way, when he hits this one, hopefully, he will be back. There's a $24 win. And look, he's at 96 where he started. So one more time, he's going to rebet. Remember, going back to base, he tries to, after you get recovered, you try to go back to base. And basically, it's kind of like starting over, resetting. And 30. So let's see. He's up 108. Gonna rebet and spin. Yeah, at only $500 bankroll and doing it with $2 units starting, that could be rough. At 120. So imagine doing this with a $5 units, right? Could get expensive really fast when you start doubling up. He's at 132. He's almost to the 150 mark, which is the next target he's shooting for. We went from 50 to 100. Now we're trying to get to 150. Okay, so lost that one. We're at 108. He's going to rebet, double up after a loss. Now, if he wins this one, he can go back to base and he recovered it. If he loses, he needs to go up, get a hit, and regress again. So he lost, right, in order to make that. So you'll see he dropped all the way down to 60. So now he's going to rebet, double up. And if he wins this one at 96, he goes back down the ladder to 48, okay? If he loses this one, he doubles again. Well, remember, he's the favorite because he has more ways to win than to lose, okay? So look, he didn't recover all of his bet, right? So that 96, he's going to take that down to 48. And this will get him back what he lost in the last 2 spins. And there we go. We're about halfway there, and he's in profits. That's good. Oh, lost that one. So remember, he's going to have to double it up again. Rebet, double that up. And if he wins this one, he wins the $48 back. But he's got to reset back to 48, and which he did. He wins this one. See, he's at the 108 again. So he's going to rebet, reset back down to 48. And remember, you win half of whatever you're betting. So if you're betting 48, you're going to win $24. All right, here we go. He needs to win this one so that he can go back down to the base level. And 36. I did bet that one, so 132. We go back to base, which is 24. And spin. Come on. 9 minutes into it. It's holding its own. It's doing well. And there's another win. Let's check out up 144. And remember, after a win, we stay at the base level. Betting 24 to win 12. Once again, I like the high coverage. So he lost 24 on that one. So we're going to rebet, double this up. Remember, at the beginning of this, I will have our Facebook site. Please like, subscribe, join our Facebook group. We have some good information on that. Cruising, different locations we'll be at, different tips and tricks to help you get comps. So he just won that one. We're going to go back to 24. Here we go. We're about 10 minutes into it. And there hasn't, I think the most losses we've had in a row is 2. You don't want to get to 3 because that starts getting dangerous, but it does happen. So that was a win. But you remember, you're basically a 2-to-1 favor. You should win 2 times to lose 1. That's why he doesn't have a problem going up. Now he's getting that little string of wins going on. So he's at 168. Hopefully he can continue to get some wins right here. Now, after a win, let's say you win 2 or 3 times in a row, would you start upping that? Would you add a unit to all those? Okay, he lost that one. We're at 144. So he's going to rebet, double that up because that was the first loss. Remember, if he gets 2 losses, he has to come back down the ladder. That's a win. So now he can reset. So I go back down to from 48 to 24. And I'll show you. He's at 168 profit. So he's doing good. And 5, I believe that's a win. So it's a new high of 180. Back to base bet. It's a pretty solid system. Now, if I was doing this at the roulette table, the bets would pretty much all have to be, well, as long as you got more than $10 bet if you're playing a table like that, but normally I'm betting with $5 increments. So at 192, that was another win. Remember, so you're betting $24. You'd have enough out there, right? Especially because you're on the inside. I believe that's a loss. Yep. Because it's on this top row right here. So we're going to rebet. Now, if you were up this much, would you double or would you keep it the same right there? Because he told me to double because he's trying to win the tournament. He's trying to go up, trying to be aggressive. Some systems that I've seen people play is they wait for 2 losses and then go up, okay? But he has faith in the system. He just recovered that money. Okay, he recovered the last loss, so he's going to go back down to 24. He understands that he has more chances to win than to lose, okay? So he's not afraid to take that gamble. About 2.5 minutes left. That should be another win. And another new high at 204. So yeah, it's doing good. 13 minutes in. Up 200 bucks. I think that's a loss though. So now he's going to have to rebet, right? Down 180, down below the 200 mark. And he's going to try and win that back right here in one spin. So I do like the recovery system on it though. That should be a win. Yep. See, he recovered that money. He's at 204. He can go back to base. So after he goes back to base, he's only winning $12, right? Half of his bet. So it's hard to win a lot. I don't know if this needs to go from like a win to a double up. So it lost that one again. So he keeps losing at the base level, which is good. He hasn't lost 2 times in a row. I think just 1 time. So it hasn't been tested too much, but I know it's going to be pretty soon. 28. Ah, got him that time. Okay, so it's being challenged at the end. So we're going to rebet, double that up, and spin again. Now, if I can place my bet before the timer runs out, I will do that. 25. Oh, it's being challenged now. Look at that. Oh boy. Rebet. Gotta double that. And spin. He needs this one, and then he's got to come down the ladder. Let's see. 16. We got that win, so let's see where he's at. 132. Now remember, he's going to come down the ladder. All right. So what is that? 96. Gotta come down to a $96 bet. He could reset all the way up. All right, here we go. And 13, did he get that one? I think he did. Yes, he did. All right, there's no time left. Let's see, we're finished at 180. Let me stop that. So $180 in 15 minutes. Whew. But did you see that when you get 3 losses in a row, you, even after you double, you have to get that win and then go down to the ladder to your most recent bet. So yeah, but he ended up in session profit, and you can tell even after I want to say 3 or 4 losses in a row. Let me stop this timer real quick. It battled back. A lot of times he'd get a win and then a loss, a win and a loss. Well, every time his next win would recover the loss before. But how this system works is a lot of times he's only winning $12, $12, $12 because he was at base. But let me know what you think in the comment. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. Leave a like, leave the comments. We appreciate everybody. All right, Dennis, I like this one. Have a good day, everybody.